When the Lenovo Legion Go was announced over a year ago, it aspired to be the most unique and ambitious handheld on the market. But 1 year later, were Lenovo's aspirations realized, or were their foolish ambitions put to rest? Let's find out. The first thing you will notice about the Legion Go is that this thing is massive. It's easily the largest handheld I currently own, but the screen is also massive, which is a plus unless you're on a plane and don't want everyone behind you to see you repeatedly die to console Radon. And due to its large size, you can probably guess that this thing is heavy. And you would guess correctly, because this thing weighs about 854 grams. However, the detachable controllers are super lightweight in comparison. We will discuss these controllers in more detail later in the video, so stay tuned for that. But to be honest, the grips on the controllers are deep enough that you really won't feel the weight as much as you think. However, the shape of this device is still a little bit uncomfortable for me due to the fact that the controllers sort of dig into the palms of my hands a bit during long play sessions. The build quality of the Legion Go, however, is pretty good. The construction of the device feels premium, the face buttons are responsive, the joysticks, while a bit on the smaller side, are in fact Hall effect and will never drift. They also installed a trackpad on the right controller, which is so useful for navigating windows. It's not as good as the trackpads found on, let's say, the Steam Deck, but it gets the job done well enough. Lenovo was also smart enough to include a built-in kickstand similar to the one found on the Switch OLED. This is especially important considering the controllers are designed to be used separate from the tablet, and they were also kind enough to include a very nice case, unlike the ASUS ROG Ally and Ally X. So overall, in the current market, I think build quality wise, the Legion Go still holds up well, but ergonomics are still a bit of an issue for me personally, and feel like ideally you should really play with it in tabletop mode with the kickstand out and the controllers detached from the device. Or it would be interesting if Lenovo in year 2 of the Legion Go released different shaped controllers to change the shape of the device. But now let's talk about the unique features the Legion Go has. The Legion Go is the most feature-rich handheld I've used yet, but are all those features actually useful? Well, not all of them. One of the biggest features Lenovo used to market the Legion Go was FPS mode. FPS mode is activated by removing the controllers from the Legion Go tablet and turning on a switch that's hidden underneath the right controller that you then attach to a magnetic puck that is included. This turns the right controller into a vertical mouse, and honestly it's pretty cool that they thought of this concept, but I've maybe used it a total of 3 times in the past year, and I've come to realize that I actually just don't like it. It's sort of difficult to aim and uncomfortable for me. Maybe it's just a skill issue, but I'd much rather use a regular mouse instead. But I appreciate the creative effort and ambition from the team at Lenovo, and Lenovo, if you are watching this, I really could live without this feature if it would make future iterations of the Legion Go a little bit cheaper. But moving on, an underrated feature of the Legion Go is its 2 USB-C ports, which was also adopted by the ROG Ally X, which just released recently. The existence of a second USB-C port makes it not mandatory to buy a dock if you want to charge and connect the Legion Go to an external display, or even a pair of XR glasses, which the Legion Go was actually marketed to be used with. However, I've only ever used the Viture Pro XR glasses and not the Legion branded ones, but I can tell you, XR glasses will work seamlessly with the Legion Go if you are curious. Another feature I think other handhelds could adopt is the Legion Go scroll wheel, which is just so freaking good for navigating the web. I can't tell you how many times this thing has come in handy. Add in the existing touchpad and this device quickly becomes the best handheld to navigate Windows with. The speakers, however, are still very bad. They are top firing speakers, so they were already sent out to die. Fortunately, this can be helped a little bit by using third-party software. But without it, the Legion Go speakers are still just not at the par with any of its competition. Just have a listen here.
Well, let me in. There's another way. That's around the corner nearby. Okay, they see you. I know.
So after a year with the Legion Go, I think Lenovo definitely hit on the scroll wheel, kickstand, 2 USB-C ports, removable controllers, and touchpad, but missed really bad on the speakers and FPS mode, which neither have held up. The display, however, on the Legion Go is, in my opinion, its biggest selling point. And I mean biggest because this thing is 8.8 inches and is the highest res and highest refresh rate screen on a gaming handheld that I have reviewed thus far, coming in at a crisp 1600p and 144 Hz. It's truly a joy to play on and look at. However, it lacks VRR, which I think is something that is needed on a device like this, especially with this kind of resolution. Unfortunately, it's a native portrait display, which means VRR is technically impossible as far as I'm aware. And outside of indie games and some older games, the screen's amazing specs are rarely ever fully utilized. This is due to the fact that the chipset inside is not capable of playing games at this high of a resolution or refresh rate. I will elaborate a bit more on this later in the video, but generally speaking, I find the Legion Go's display to be one of the best available and makes it a great candidate for an external GPU. But when they update the Legion Go to the Z2 Extreme or something better, this screen will actually start to shine. But unfortunately, the Legion Go handheld in its current form factor will never have variable refresh rate. So we've discussed hardware, so now let's talk about software. The Legion Go uses Windows 11 as its main operating system, and if you've watched my other videos, then you already know how I feel about Windows on handhelds. In short, it's not my favorite. But I will say having a trackpad on the Legion Go does make life a bit easier for me when navigating the operating system, but it's still not ideal for a dedicated gaming rig. But luckily, Lenovo created Legion Space, and my god, at launch this thing was nothing short of a disaster. It was sluggish, ugly, difficult to navigate, buggy, and would often crash. But now, Legion Space is smooth, aesthetic, easy to navigate, and doesn't crash. They really stepped it up with the software in this regard. It's not perfect, of course, but I am very impressed with what they were able to come up with. It's actually become my favorite Windows handheld custom software. They did take their time with this update, but I believe it's better off for it. They also slowly rolled out driver updates, which I know long-term owners of the Legion Go were really not happy about, but from my understanding, there is probably a good reason for it. This is something that the ROG Ally was consistently ahead on. Hello everyone, a quick update from the future here. So I don't think I was harsh enough on Lenovo for not updating the drivers quickly on the Legion Go because it's kind of ridiculous. I was trying to play Horizon Forbidden West and it kept telling me I was using an older out-of-date driver, and I kept checking and I am using the latest driver that's available for the Legion Go, but it clearly is not up to date, and Lenovo hopefully in year 2 fixes this issue. All right, back to the video now. Finally, let's talk about gaming on the Legion Go. The Legion Go makes use of the same chip that's inside the ROG Ally, which is the Ryzen Z1 Extreme, and 16GB of RAM. However, the Z1 Extreme is still just too weak of a chip to run games at this high of fidelity, even on low settings with such a high resolution display. This is especially true when you're on a battery, and is, in my opinion, the biggest issue I have with the Legion Go. The screen is far too overspec'd for what the device is realistically capable of when playing today's games. Don't get me wrong, it's still very impressive for the games that it is capable of running at this level, but it's a waste of resources to run games at this high of fidelity on the go due to it draining the battery and also tanking the frame rate. Even with upscaling, the extra pixels on the display are just not worth it. I know a lot of people on the Legion Go subreddit were talking about running the device in 800p upscaled to 1600p, which in my opinion defeats the purpose of it. But it is the best way to get more battery and performance out of the Legion Go. But even if we use FSR or XESS to upscale games up to 1600p, it just does not look good. Even after frame gen or lossless scaling, it's still far too noticeably rough around the edges. So unfortunately, the biggest selling point of the Legion Go is also my biggest disappointment. But that is not to say gaming on the Legion Go is bad. It's actually quite the opposite. It's still a powerhouse and can run every new game available at the moment pretty well, just not at its native resolution. But you can run indie games and emulated games like the Legion Go at native 1600p and they will still look great. Battery life on the Legion Go isn't terrible either, but it's not very good for the aforementioned reasons that we already discussed with the resolution of the screen and whatnot. Although, if you plan on using the Legion Go for short gaming sessions like during your work break or school break or plugged in at home, it's more than serviceable for it. It is actually better than the regular ROG Ally despite its bigger and higher res display. But overall, in the market where the Legion Go is priced currently, its battery life is acceptable, but it's not going to blow you away, nor will it compete with the likes of the Steam Deck OLED and ROG Ally X in this aspect if you are curious. So now let's talk about value and where the Legion Go sits in today's market. Before sales price, the Legion Go 512GB model is $699 USD, but at the time of writing this script, the 512GB Legion Go is currently on sale for the more affordable price of $549 USD. However, you can actually get the ROG Ally Z1 Extreme typically for around $499. This doesn't necessarily make the value of the Legion Go worse, but something you may have to consider. The ROG Ally, however, doesn't have a 1600p 144Hz display and all the features that the Legion Go has. So I think if you actually really like the feature set of the Legion Go, then it's still a strong option in today's market. But of course, there's always the next iteration that will likely hit the market within the next year or maybe even months. The 1TB model, which is not currently on sale, is still priced at $749 USD, which is awfully close to the ROG Ally X. So I don't think that the 1TB model is currently a very good value, but maybe go after this one if you find it on a decent sale. The Legion Go, however, does come with a case, some unique features not found in the ROG Ally X that might be compelling to you, and most importantly, it has a built-in kickstand. But of course, bigger discounts are sure to come as well, but the overall value really comes down to how much you actually care about the feature set of the Legion Go compared to its competition. But I think the 512GB model on sale is priced fairly. So a year later, is the Lenovo Legion Go still a compelling option in today's market? Well, actually, I think that there has never been a better time to get a Legion Go. Legion Space has been updated and it looks and operates very well now. The Legion Go's display has the highest resolution and highest refresh rate of any handheld on the market. It's now found regularly on sale, and the Z1 Extreme has had its drivers updated, unlocking more of its power. However, it is not without its flaws. The Legion Go is just not powerful enough to power its stunning 1600p 144Hz display, nor is its battery size big enough. It's also just heavy and bulky and has an unnecessary gimmick attached to it that has added to its sticker price, which, in my opinion, has yet to hit the impulse buy area. So overall, I think the Lenovo Legion Go is in this awkward middle child spot right now for Windows handheld. It's not budget enough for me to definitively say go get it over the ROG Ally, and it's not premium enough for me to recommend it over the ROG Ally X, but it sits in this weird limbo between them that if you value the Legion Go's unique feature set enough compared to ASUS's options, then this handheld could be right for you. So if you value the 8.8-inch 1600p 144Hz display, plus the detachable controllers and all the other features that we mentioned in the video, then who am I to tell you not to buy it? But that's going to do it for today's video. If you found this video informative, leave a like and subscribe for more tech and handheld device reviews. Also, you might as well hit the little bell to be the first to know when my next video comes out. This has been KillerCam 1020. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Peace.